Well, welcome to another AI Meetup. Basically, Mycah is going to talk to us about Notion. But is it Notion.ai?
It is. It's a Notion.so, but they go by Notion.
Right. So for those that haven't been here before, I'm Tim May. I host the AI Meetup, and we have the mission of trying to demystify some of the AI stuff going on, both for business people just generally interested in technology, and also practitioners. So if you have a project or an effort that would be interesting to other folks, you think, yeah, call me. We'll get you on stage here so you can talk about it. We have an AI Meetup group on meetup.com. It's part of the, you can find it with AI Meetup at Tech Alley. If you sign up, and I send out emails telling you what's going on with each of the presentations we have each month, and we do this every month. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mycah.
Awesome.
And we're going to get going here.
Yeah.
By the way, I'll have Lance bring me a handheld mic. If you have a question, raise your hand. Let me run around and give you the mic so we can get your comments on the video. We are videotaping these sessions, and you can share that video link. It's on YouTube with folks that that couldn't make it. With that, I'll turn it over.
Awesome. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you guys for coming in. My name is Mycah. Today we're going to be presenting on how does it look like when you have AI in your system, in your workspace. So, as I said, I'm Mycah. I'm the Notion plug here in Las Vegas. I'm actually based here. I live over by Durango. I've been here for about 4 years. I keep saying 3 years every single year, but it's 4 now, I believe so. But basically, I kind of started my career. I was an athlete. I played professionally overseas. I put the ball down and decided to do tech. I've been in operations for about 7+ years now. And then I kind of just got into it where I was helping a lot of businesses with their back ends. So I was helping them clean up all of their systems and everything. And I was using all of these different tools. How many of you guys have about 7 to 5 tools that you guys are using in you guys' business? Right? That's overhead right there, right? You're probably spending close to $200, $300 in overhead. Well, I didn't want to use Asana. I didn't want to use Trello. And I went in a YouTube rabbit hole and I found Notion. Fell in love with it immediately. I was like, yep, this is my platform. Immediately, I knew it was going to be my business. And we kind of went from there. So I rinse and repeat what I did with my first client. And I've now been doing this. It pays my bills. And I'm a Notion consultant and ambassador. Okay? So, yes, I know that this is another AI tool, and I know you're probably thinking, well, what makes this special? I think what makes this AI agent actually special is, one, that is connected to Notion and actually has all these different types of databases behind it, but two, it's not just an AI tool. You're using all different types of models. So you're not just using Claude, you're not just using ChatGPT, you're not just using Gemini. They're all in that workspace for you to actually use, and it's connected to your workspace. So if you're doing your project management, your tasks, your meetings, it's all in there together, and your agent is actually talking to all of these things. And I'm going to show you some demos today on how that could be useful to you and your team. Feel free to ask questions, y'all. You don't have to be shy as I go along. So what is Notion, right? A lot of people think it's just a note-taking tool, and that's fair. That's kind of how they started. But it's multiple things. You can use it for personal organization. So habit tracking, planning your day, all those different types of things. Goals. You can also use it for business management. I'm sure I'm talking to a lot of startups here today, and you probably have businesses, so you're probably going to be in this route here, is business management. So your project management, your client management, your SOPs, where's your knowledge bank? How does your team know actually what to do on a day-to-day basis? This is where those things go. Knowledge hubs, content creation. Maybe you're a content creator, right? Well, where's all those documents going? How are you doing your content plan? All those things can be managed here. And of course, automations and AI. So how did Notion start? Notion 1.0, it was just a collaborative canvas. So think of Canva, it was basically that where you can kind of store all of your documents. Then it went to Notion 2.0 where they added databases. And databases is the fancy word for freaking spreadsheets, y'all. So it's really not that big of a deal. They added databases and actually automations. Then Notion 3.0 came out in October where they actually brought out your AI agent. So it's like having ChatGPT in your workspace, right? And then now, which is going to be launching very soon, I can't give a date, but they're actually going to have custom agents where they're working for you in the back end without you having to tell it to do anything. So now you can have agents in your team in your workspace working while you're sitting somewhere else doing something else, or your team is doing something else, okay? I actually got to get the beta for the custom agents, and y'all, it's dope, okay? All right, so meet my agent. My agent, her name is Willow. She's dope. This is my companion in my workspace. When I go into my workspace, I actually ask it to help me kickstart my day, because I don't want to think about that. It's one less thing I have to think about. So this is what it looks like. I go in the conversation, I say, hey, Willow, kickstart my day. And it starts to kickstart my day. It's connected to my calendar, because Notion connects to your Google Calendar, right? It's connected to my emails, so it's connected to my emails already. Guess what? I didn't have to use Zapier. I didn't have to use Make. All of it's connected all together. So it's already talking all in there. And then it comes and pulls up my day-to-day. So because I want my agent to actually treat me like a human, it grounds me in with questions that I already prompted it to ask me. So I wanted to ask me, how much energy do I have for the day? Because what if I ain't got that energy today? Well, tell me what's my most priority things I need to get done, right? And then tell me what meetings I have, right? So it breaks down all of these different things for me, okay? And then I kind of know what I'm going to do for the day. I check it off as I go along, okay? So how does Willow actually remember these things? And this is what makes this different than ChatGPT. This is what makes this different than any of the other models that you're doing. It has a memory bank, so it has instructions. And you pretty much set this up a one-time situation for the most part. You tell it what personality do you want it to have? What tone of voice do you want it to have? So Willow actually has more of like a butler and a basketball coach tone with me, because that's how I want to be talked to in my business. But you can set this up however you want. Then once you tell it the tone, you tell it who you are. So, hey, I'm a Notion consultant. I work with business owners. I make sure I work with small teams and stuff like that, right? And then I give it roles. So the role I want you to do is I want you to help me kickstart my day. Another role I want you to do is when I'm done with my day at 4 o'clock and I tell you to wrap up my day, I want you to wrap up my meetings, right? So it does these things off of me telling it to, okay? All right, so what can my agent do? It can summarize things, draft things. It can create databases. So for any of the developers in here who are tired of making the same database over and over again, it actually does it for me. Hey, create me a financial database. It'll do it for me. What properties do you want? How do you want it to actually work? It generates lists and reports. So on Fridays, I say, hey, tell me my financials. And it actually looks at all of my emails, because it has access to my emails, and tells me how many things have I closed for this week. How many people have paid me through Stripe, right? And it gives me a report. It's my work companion, as I told you guys before, and it answers any questions I have. So if I'm about to pop into a meeting and I'm running a little late and I didn't prep, hey, tell me my last couple of meetings that I had with Sarah, and what did we talk about, and where are we at today, and what should I talk about? Because it's like ChatGPT, it's like AI, it looks through all of my meetings and it tells me everything and it preps. And it tells me that within seconds. What can't it do? It cannot read minds, y'all. So if it's not in the workspace, if you did not give it the information, just like any AI, it's not going to know. It's going to give you very general things, right? It doesn't take initiative or independence on its own. So remember I was telling you about custom agents? That's coming out very soon. So you have to kind of prompt it first. You have to say, hey, kickstart my day for it to work. It doesn't just work while you're not using it. It doesn't trigger automations. It's unable to send and update notes, Notion calendars and stuff like that in emails. However, it actually is going to be able to send out emails for you very soon. Cool. So if you are interested in Notion and AI, feel free to sign up. Here's a QR code if you guys want to sign up. Feel free to use it. And we're about to kind of go into a demo. Do we have any questions so far?
I go.
Bet.
Do you know what model it's backed by, or did they build their own?
I'm sorry?
Do you know what model it's backed by, or did they build their own?
It's backed by multiple models. So what's cool is since we're
Bring your
getting
own
into...
Do you bring your own? Oh, thank you. Do you bring your own key?
So You do not have to connect to ChatGPT. So you, for example, I believe we were talking about Clawbot or Claude, what was it?
OpenClaw.
Yes. You see how you have to connect to ChatGPT and then pay ChatGPT in order to use it? Well, you do not have to do that here. You pay Notion the business plan, which is $20 a month, and you automatically get access to the AI agent. $20 a month, y'all. That's your overhead. And mind you, you can do all your project management in this all by itself, right? So all you have to do is, what's cool is you can click your agent and you see all these different models that you can use. You can already use Sonic 4.6, Opus 4.6, Gemini Pro, and also ChatGPT. You get to pick what model you want and then write your question in and it'll already do the search for you. So now you're not just paying just ChatGPT. I can use whatever model I want to use. Right? And these update often. So we started off with just ChatGPT and they started adding all the other models. So this stays up to date of what's current. I think I saw a question here.
Do you know what type of rate limiting they have?
There is no rate limit. So I can run this and I'm just paying $20 a month. Great question. All right. All right, so let's look at what this actually looks like when it's running. So I already created some prompts for y'all, so this can go pretty fast. But the first example is before Notion came out, Notion AI actually came. Oh, we got another question. Go ahead.
Yeah, where does your data get stored if you're giving it access to your emails and other confidential information?
Yeah. So what's cool is that, hey, here's my workspace. Right? And I have a personal workspace. My team members have their own workspace, but it's all getting housed in our company databases. So that's the difference between like using a model is when you're using a model, it's just a bunch of chats on the left side, right? But if you're using Notion, there's actual databases that live here. So it's getting stored there in Notion. So I have a database for my goals, my milestones, my projects with my company, our lead areas, so where all of our prospects are, our client areas. So all these areas are filled with different things. This is my meeting tracker. So all of our meetings, whether it's teams or clients, they're all living here, right? And that's the difference, is that it's actually getting stored somewhere. If you're using, a solo model, it's just chats. Where does it go? Unless you connect it with Zapier. And that is another overhead that you have to pay. Why? When we can just pay $20, have all of it all in one area with the power of the AI agents that we're actually using. Does that answer your question, sir?
It does, thank you.
Bet. Okay. So, kind of gave you a rundown what my workspace looks like, and I actually get to customize this and make this workspace look what I want. My goals, my clients are sitting here, and also my tasks that I need to do. But I have a robust system that's all in here, that's housing my whole company, right? Okay, cool. So,
Mycah, all right. So for some clarity for the audience, what I'm understanding this product is basically a RAG, we could call it, but basically it's storing sensitive information in the ecosystems that people trust and letting them use some small level of usage of tokens on it so they can store it locally. That's probably very similar to a structure if someone was doing this on their local IDE and command line, but this gives it a better interface so it's easier for folks to use.
Yep.
Plus it connects to all of these other things. So these are like custom workflows more than a model, right?
Correct. So I actually so you can get these templates. So that's how I started, you guys. I was creating a workspace for people and I was customizing that workspace. So if you were a realtor, I created a workspace specifically for realtors. If you were a business coach, I created a workspace for business coaches. And I advise you get a consultant if you want them to build out something custom for you. And then from there, I train them on how to use their system. And then I can show them how, hey, this is how you ask your AI agent to actually go and use this workspace. So they have, some training to get themselves into it, right? So, but there is no tokens. I want to make that very clear. That's the difference between these AI agents, you're not buying tokens. This is unlimited. You get unlimited databases. You get unlimited users. You get unlimited memory. You're not really paying for anything extra. And actually, Notion gives you a lot of things for free. They give you Notion Mail. And Notion Mail is connected to your Google Mail. So here at the bottom, I can go to my Notion Mail and my Notion Calendar. and it's already connected. I didn't have to pay Zapier. I don't have to hire somebody to connect it. It's already synced. It just links together. Okay, so let's do a demo. So before, I had to go into ChatGPT. So about in October, they dropped AI agents, and I was like, man, I want my audience to be different, right? So I went and I was in ChatGPT and I was talking it up. This is for AI agents, and Notion happened. And I was like, okay, I made this plan. I have this content so I could talk to this audience, but then I had to copy and paste it over to my workspace. So tired of copying and pasting into my workspace, right? So before, I had to do that one content at a time. Now I don't have to do that. One, I don't have to use ChatGPT anymore because I can have that conversation with my agent, right? I could sit here and have a full conversation and tell it, hey, do me research, right? Because you guys just saw that it's connected to certain types of models, right? So I can do it all in here. And then as an example, let me go into my notes and get the prompt. So here's the prompt right here. So you guys can see it kind of at work. So we're going to say, hey, Willow, basically take this prompt, and I want you to add this content plan, right? So enter, and it's going to take this content plan. And basically what I asked it to do is, hey, Willow, take this content plan that I have, add the subjects to my content tracker, add the status as these are ideas that I want to do for my content. Make sure to actually use and add the due dates so that I can know when I'm going to publish the content, and also link it to my goals, because I have a goal where I want to publish on LinkedIn 20 times within this month, right? Do all of that for me, right? So as you see down here, it's thinking, right? It's computing, it's going to figure it out, and it's going to throw it into the right areas. While this is loading, anybody got any questions so far? Cool.
So you set up your Notion workspace. You get one AI agent per workspace, or you get the ability to set up a team?
Yeah, so that's where, so yes, you can have more than one agent. So you can have an agent like you can set up Willow, and maybe you want to set up another one that's called something else. But really think of like the AI agent as more of like a companion, but you can have multiple agents that have different instructions. The custom agents that are coming out is probably what you're kind of looking for, where you want a team behind you that has different roles, and then you want them to run those roles without you having to tell it. That's going to be coming out within the next couple of weeks, right? And that's called custom agents, okay? So AI agent, think of it like your personal assistant, and then custom agents is going to be your team that's going to be running without you having to even tell it to do anything. You just set it up one time.
Do you know if the plan for that is the AI agent team able to talk to each other and review their...
I think starting off, they're probably not going to be able to do that, but that is coming in the future. So far what the beta is that I'm testing, they do not talk to each other, but they are planning on making that move. And what I love about Notion is that look how far it's come from just being a note-taking tool to actually to the point where we're running AI agents. They move very quickly and they listen to their users very, very well. So we asked for, hey, if you really want this to be a workspace, why do I have to go into Google in order to get my documents? I should be able to stay in my workspace. They listened, they connected it, right? So they do listen to their users. So as you see here, it's created all those things. So it says all 5 content pages are already created. It's in the things. So let's see if it did it, right? So I can click into that page. It opens the side shelf. It set my publish date for March 3rd. It did the status correctly as I told it to. It set the platform, which is I'm going to post this on Instagram, and then actually put the content of what we want. If I wanted it to actually build out the caption, it's just like using ChatGPT, y'all. I could say, hey, take this title and create me a caption. Create me the content that I'm looking for, right? And it connected it to the goal. So this is the goal. And the best thing about how I build my stuff is I let them all talk to each other. So I have this goal, and it's connecting all of my goals, tasks, milestones, notes, my projects, my content that I need to do, and it breaks down the goal. So that's how I build my Notion, right? I make sure all of my databases talk to each other. Okay. All right, let's do more of a simple request for it. Another one is if, and then my chat is down here, I can just come here and create a new chat, and I can say, as another example, let's take my meetings. I just had a meeting with Malia, right? Take my meetings, create me some, take the action items that I have, right? And throw them into my tracker. In my task tracker. I want you to create tasks for me. And then I want you to link this client so I know what task this client is talking to. This makes your workspace so much more efficient. What if you're not running your business, but you want your team to be set up for success? This is how you do it. You can create this task and assign it to whoever you want, right? So I'm going to take this, and it's going to do this for me. It's going to craft, and it's going to think. Any questions while we're waiting for this? This one shouldn't take so long. Content, and also if you're talking about like time frames and stuff like that, you all, it just depends on what you're asking it. If you're asking it to create 30 pages, it's probably going to take a little bit longer than if I'm asking it to create 2 pages, right?
Can Notion has project management functionality. Can you connect this, because you said you can assign this to anybody, can you show how you can connect this to the project management functionality with Notion right now?
So you're saying like, how does it connect? So just how I just...
You just said that you can assign this to anybody. Notion has project management functionality. I'd like to see how this connects with the rest of the Notion workflow, and to assign it to people. Can you show us that?
Sure. I'll assign it to my team member, Pia.
Yeah.
So no problem. So it's thinking, it's doing its thing. And then it says creating 3 tasks. So it tells you what it's doing. It also shows you the pages. Okay. All right. And while it's thinking, I can actually just open this up. So here's one of the questions. One of the questions is define target audience for a workshop. So I'm actually working with her to create a workshop together. So it's saying define who your target audience is. And it's assigned to me, right? As you see, it's research. It connected it to the lead, right? And it also connected it to the meeting that I told it to. It gives me a description of what the task is and everything down here, and also action items. And I did not have to do that on my own. Now, what you requested is, let's take these tasks and actually assign it to somebody else, right? So I'm going to say, I actually want you to assign these tasks, and then I can mention Pia. Right? So you can mention your team members like how you see in other platforms. You can mention other pages if you wanted to take information from other pages, but I'm just going to do the request, and then let's see what it does. I'm actually going to make this instead. So if it does it correctly, we should see it actually change here. If it has any questions, it's going to ask me for more clarity. There it goes. And now it's just assigned it to my other team member, Pia, and now it's off my desk, and I have given this task to somebody else to go and do. That is as quick as it is. And what's cool is that talking about the project management, if I wanted to go, this is Pia's workspace. So I showed you my workspace. This is my team members' workspace, completely different. They have a message center in here. They have meetings in here. They have all the tasks that's assigned to them. They can see all the projects that's assigned specifically to them, right? So they're only seeing what's important to them, okay? So that's the thing about having, a workspace that's actually connected to your agent. That's completely different than what you probably are used to. All right, so I know we have a bunch of developers here. We're getting close to the end of the presentation. I know we have a bunch of developers in here. And so does it connect? Does it have API? Does it connect to other workspaces? Does it connect to GitHub and all that other type of stuff? Yes, that's the fastest way I could give it to you. It does. It connects to a lot of them. Here's some of the ones that's on the screen here that it connects to. Is endless. And also, if it doesn't connect, you can reach out to Notion. They will easily be able to show you how to connect to any of the other platforms that you're looking to do or connect with.
Any other questions, comments? No? Okay, we'll call it then. You guys can go have some lunch.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Mycah, thank you so much for presenting. Appreciate it, man.